Namaste students. Today we are going to read this poem Amanda written by Robin Clark. This poem depicts the state of a young girl's mind who is always instructed about do's and don'ts by her elders. She is told not to hunch her shoulders. Hunch means to bend forward her shoulders and to sit up straight. She is also told not to eat the chocolate which she has. Then she is fed up with this nagging and she dreams of freedom. She dreams of mermaid in the sea. She dreams of Rapunzel. Rapunzel was a beautiful girl with a long hair who was imprisoned by the witch in the high tower. She also dreams of walking bare feet in the street. When she takes no note of what is being said to her, she gets scolded by her elders for being moody and sulking all the time. Now, let us read this first stanza. Don't bite your nails, Amanda. Now, one of the parents, that is not mentioned, mother or father, telling Amanda not to bite her nails. She is biting her nails. Don't hunch. Hunch means bend forward your shoulders, Amanda. Stop that slouching. Slouching is sitting in a lazy way. Stop sitting in a lazy way and sit up straight, Amanda. Then what happens? She is fed up. She imagines there is a languid. Languid means calm, peaceful, where waves are soft. Emerald means green sea. There is a peaceful, calm, green sea where waves are very soft. Where the soul means single inhabitant is who? Me. That means she. A mermaid. She imagines that she is a mermaid in the sea and she is drifting. Drifting means moving slowly with the current. Current means flow of water. She is moving slowly with the waves. Blissfully means with a great happiness. Poetic devices which have been used here are, first of all, alliteration, repetition of sound sir in this line, then repetition of this name, word Amanda 3 times, and then anaphora. Anaphora means that a word or group of words has been repeated in the beginning of the sentence, so that is don't and don't, right? And then metaphor has been used, that she compares herself to a mermaid, so metaphor has been used. Then allusion has also been used. Allusion is indirect reference. There is an indirect reference here to a mermaid. Mermaid drifting blissfully. Now let us read the second stanza. Did you finish your homework, Amanda? The parent asked her if she had finished her homework. That means she is a school-going girl. Then, did you tidy your room, Amanda? Tidy means to make her room neat and clean. The parent asked her if she had tidied, made her room neat and clean. I thought I told you to clean your shoes, Amanda. The parent also asked her to clean her shoes. Then she is fed up and she imagines that she is an orphan. Orphan means she is without parents. She does not have any parents. And she is roaming in the street. I pattern, and she imagines that she is drawing designs in the soft dust with my hush. Hush means to put the foot gently into the dust, and she is bare feet. She is drawing designs in the soft dust, that too bare feet. Then she feels that when there will be no parents, she will be free to roam in the streets, and then when there will be no parents, their silence will be golden. Nobody will be there to say her do this, do that, or don't do this, don't do that. So that silence will be golden, and that freedom of roaming in the street bare feet will be sweet. Now let us discuss the poetic devices. First of all, repetition of this word Amanda, her name. Then anaphora. Did you, in the beginning of these two sentences. So anaphora. Then metaphor. She compares herself to an orphan. So metaphor has been used. Now let us read the third stanza. Don't eat that chocolate, Amanda. The parent tells her not to eat the chocolate that she has. Remember your acne, Amanda. The parents reminds her of acne means pimples that she had. That if she will eat chocolate, again she will have those pimples. Then, will you please look at me when I am speaking to you, Amanda? When parent is telling her not to eat chocolate and reminds her of acne, Amanda is not looking at the parent, and then that parent is telling her to look at me, I am speaking to you. Then she imagines that she is Rapunzel, that beautiful girl with long hair. And I have not a care, and nobody is there to look after her, she is alone. Life in a tower is tranquil. She imagines that life in a tower will be tranquil, means peaceful and rare. Rare means uncommon. Here means wonderful. Life will be wonderful in the tower, she is thinking. I will certainly never let down my bright hair. Actually, this Rapunzel, what did she do? As she was imprisoned in the tower by a witch, then she let her hair down, and one prince climbed up the tower and released her from there. But this girl says that she will not do that. She will not let her hair down, and no prince will climb up the tower because she will stay there only. She wants to stay there. Now, the poetic devices which have been used here, again, repetition of Amanda, then allusion, indirect reference to Rapunzel, and here metaphor also has been used. She compares herself to Rapunzel, so that is metaphor. See this, stop that sulking. Sulking means showing annoyance. At once, Amanda, the parent tell her, stop showing your annoyance. You're always so moody. Moody again means that you become annoyed and then you show like this, that you always do this. Anyone would think that I nagged at you. Now parent is telling her that stop doing all these things. I simply tell you to do this and not to do this. And anybody will think, as you are showing your annoyance, you are sulking, that I nagged at you, that I scolded you. Now let's see the poetic devices. See, alliteration has been used here. Repetition of sound sir, and then repetition of this word Amanda has been used here. So that's all.